Good morning and welcome again to our courtyard here at our beautiful Carmel Mission Basilica. Our daily prayer message today is poetry from the scriptures. As you know, I love poetry, and we don't have to look far in the scriptures until we find various examples of poetry. The book of Job, Proverbs, obviously the Psalms, Ecclesiastes, and the Song of Songs, which is one of my favorites. So yesterday in the first reading, we learned the story of King Solomon, who, when God offered to him one request, asked for an understanding heart to govern and guide God's people. God was pleased with such a request, and he readily granted Solomon his request. And it wasn't long until Solomon's wisdom became legendary. I thought we could explore this morning his life a little more through a reading from the Song of Songs, also known as the Song of Solomon. The Song of Songs is an exquisite collection of love lyrics, arranged to tell a dramatic tale of mutual desire and courtship. It presents a portrayal of ideal human love, a resounding affirmation of the goodness of human sexuality. Although the poem is attributed to King Solomon in the traditional title, the language and style of the work, among other considerations, suggest a time after the end of the Babylonian exile in 538 BC, when an unknown poet collected love poems, perhaps composing new material also, and arranged the whole collection into a masterpiece that we know today. Some scholars argue the possibility of female authorship for at least portions of the song. I will leave that for you to discern. While the lovers in the song are clearly human figures, both Jewish and Christian traditions across the centuries have adopted allegorical interpretations. The song is seen as a beautiful picture of the ideal Israel, the chosen people whom the Lord leads by degrees to a greater understanding and a closer union in the bond of perfect love. Christian tradition has followed our Jewish brothers and sisters' example in using marriage as an image of our relationship with God, a covenantal relationship between man and woman. Christian writers have interpreted the song in terms of the union between Christ and his church, and of the union between Christ and the individual soul. While King Solomon may not have been the original author, he is the bridegroom in the poem. I'm going to read for you now a passage from chapter 3, verses 6 through 11, subtitled Solomon's Procession. So I want you, if you'd like, to close your eyes and see in your mind's eye the lavish and evocative spectacle. Who is this coming up from the desert, like columns of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and frankincense, and with all kinds of exotic powders? See, it is the litter of Solomon, 60 valiant men surrounded, of the valiant men of Israel, all of them expert with the sword, skilled in battle, each with his sword at his side against the terrors of the night. King Solomon made himself an enclosed litter of wood from Lebanon. He made its columns of silver, its roof of gold, its seat of purple cloth, its interior lovingly fitted. Daughters of Jerusalem, go out and look upon King Solomon in the crown with which his mother has crowned him on the day of his marriage, on the day of the joy of his heart. If you enjoyed this little sample and you've not read the complete Song of Songs, then I highly recommend it to you. It's only 8 chapters long, and each one is just as beautiful and captivating as the verses that you've just heard. As always, if you do have any prayer requests, please send them to Father Rodrigo and myself. Just go to our parish website, carmelmission.org, and click on that prayer request button, and we will willingly and gladly take your intentions with us during our daily prayers and masses. Thank you.